This is a story about the long-standing rivalry between the Eiye and Black Axe confraternities in Lagos State. It explains how both groups compete for power, influence, and control in communities, streets, and higher institutions. For many years, Lagos State has been a place where different people come to chase their dreams. But behind the noise, businesses, and bright lights, another quiet struggle has been growing. A long-standing rivalry between Black Axe and Eiye Confraternity. Their clash did not start today. It began many decades ago when both groups were fighting for space, power, and influence in the most populated state in Nigeria. At first, their presence in Lagos was small. Members lived in different communities, blending into everyday life. But as Lagos continued to grow, both groups began to spread deeper into the streets, transport parks, higher institutions, and inner communities. Soon, they were no longer invisible. Their names started appearing in street conversations, whispered stories, and neighborhood rumors. The tension between Black Axe and Eiye became stronger because both groups wanted the same thing: control. Lagos is a big state with different cities, and each zone means power, numbers, and influence. So Black Axe held some areas, and Eiye held others, but the borders were never stable. One group's zone today could become the other group's target tomorrow. This long competition created a rivalry that refused to die. Eiye became more powerful over the years because some of their members were said to be in government positions and among traditional rulers. That connection gave them strong influence. In many communities, people whispered that Eiye members had backing, which made them more confident in the streets. Their presence became visible everywhere, from local parks to campuses and inner streets. Black Axe also had power. They had street boys, government connections, and different community structures supporting them. They were known across Lagos, especially in areas where transport workers and youth groups operated. Their influence made them strong opponents, and they were not willing to bow to Eiye. Both sides saw each other as threats. Their rivalry grew into something that lasted for many years. Even when peace returned for a short time, it never lasted. Something always brought the tension back: competition for members, control of streets, or influence in higher institutions. This long-standing clash shaped the way many Lagos communities operate today. For young people watching from the outside, it became a warning that power struggles in the streets only lead to fear, destruction, and lost futures.
The power struggle between Eiye and Black Axe in Lagos State has reached a point where there is no respect, no cooperation, and no understanding between them. The rivalry has grown so deep that members no longer see each other as human beings. They see enemies. The moment an Eiye member sees someone from Black Axe, the person becomes a threat. And the moment a Black Axe member sees an Eiye member, he sees someone he must never trust. The tension is that strong. This hostility did not start in one day. It built up over many years of competition, pride, clashes, and the desire for dominance. Lagos is a big city, but both groups want the same spaces, the same streets, the same campuses, the same parks, the same networks. Because of that, they cross paths often, and each crossing point becomes a reminder of their rivalry. Their zones of influence are like invisible borders around Lagos. In some areas, Eiye is stronger. In others, Black Axe has more control. But these borders do not bring peace. Instead, they create suspicion. If a member mistakenly enters the wrong area, problems begin. If someone from one group tries to do business in the other group's zone, it becomes an issue. Even normal movement around the city feels like walking through territories. The rivalry is no longer about who formed first or who has more members. It has become emotional. Members grow up hearing stories about how the other group is dangerous or hostile. So from a young age, hatred is planted into their minds. That hatred controls how they act, how they think, and how they see the world. What makes the tension worse is that both groups believe they cannot coexist. Eiye believes Black Axe is always trying to challenge them. Black Axe believes Eiye is always trying to dominate them. Because of this mindset, cooperation is impossible. Even if they find themselves in the same situation, they will not help each other. They would rather walk away than assist a rival. This power tussle has affected many communities in Lagos. People who are not even members feel the fear. Parents worry for their children. Students feel unsafe in higher institutions. The ordinary Lagos resident is tired of seeing battles caused by rivalry. The deeper message is clear. The more these groups fight for power, the more lives and future dreams are destroyed.
In Lagos State, the rivalry between Eiye and Black Axe is not only in the streets or campuses, it has also entered places of power: politics, business circles, and government positions. When an Eiye member gets into a government office, he naturally prefers his members over any rival. The same happens when a Black Axe member rises to a position of influence. They do not trust each other, so they do not work together. For an Eiye member in government, supporting a Black Axe member is unthinkable. He would rather give opportunities to someone outside Confraternity than help a direct rival. It is based on years of distrust, conflict, and a belief that any help to the other side strengthens an enemy. In the same way, Black Axe members who gain influence follow the same pattern. They protect their own group and ignore rivals. This mindset makes the rivalry stronger and harder to stop. The streets feel this division even more. In many Lagos communities, it is clear that Eiye members walk together, move together, and stay close. Their unity is their strength, but it also increases tension because they always stay alert for rivals. Street boys quickly know who belongs where. Eiye members do not mix with Black Axe members, not even during friendly gatherings. It is seen as a taboo, something that must never happen. If an Eiye member is seen socializing with a Black Axe member, it becomes a problem for him within his group. The same rule applies to Black Axe members. They believe that mixing with rivals means betrayal. So everyone is careful about where they go, who they talk to, and who they walk with. Even simple things like attending a party or walking through a neighborhood require caution. This separation affects everyday life. Sometimes, ordinary young people get caught in the middle simply because they stay in an area controlled by one group but school or work in a zone controlled by another. Many youths live with quiet fear, avoiding certain streets or even certain friends so they won't be misunderstood. The painful truth is that the loyalty these groups demand becomes a trap. They expect full commitment, but that commitment only leads to more division. Instead of unity in Lagos, these lines drawn by rivalries break the city into hidden camps. And the more the groups separate themselves, the more difficult peace becomes. The rivalry between Eiye and Black Axe has grown so deep in Lagos State that it now divides people who should naturally love themselves. This division no longer stops at the streets, campuses, or government offices. It enters homes, it cuts through families, and in some painful cases, it even turns blood brothers into enemies. In many Lagos communities, young boys grow up in tough environments. Some join groups because of pressure from friends, neighborhood influence, or the need to feel protected. It is possible for two brothers living under the same roof to walk different paths. One may join Eiye and another may join Black Axe. When that happens, the family becomes a silent battleground. At first, the brothers may try to behave normally at home, eating together and talking like before. But once they step outside, the rules change. Their groups expect loyalty, and that loyalty means they must see members of the rival group as enemies, including their own brother. The street does not care about blood ties. The confraternity rules do not recognize family. This situation has created heartbreaking stories. Two brothers who once played football together can now avoid each other in public. They stop walking together, stop greeting each other outside, and stop attending the same events. If people see them socializing, questions will rise. Rival members will suspect betrayal.
To protect themselves, the brothers begin to act like strangers. Parents feel this pain more than anyone. They watch their children grow apart, not because of natural disagreements, but because of a rivalry that has nothing to do with family love. Some mothers cry at night, praying their sons will not cross paths in a dangerous situation. Some fathers lose control of their homes because their children now answer to the streets instead of listening to them. The rivalry becomes stronger when family love is replaced with group loyalty. It makes reconciliation harder. If two brothers cannot stand together as one, how can a whole community unite? The division spreads into extended families. Cousins avoid cousins, and relatives keep secrets from one another to stay safe. This side of Lagos life teaches a deep lesson. Cultism destroys the most precious bond God gave humans, family. When a street identity becomes more important than blood, the result is long-lasting pain. Many families in Lagos are still suffering from the cracks created by this rivalry, and it shows why young people must avoid joining any confraternity. Peace inside a home is worth more than any street loyalty.
In Lagos State, the Eiye Confraternity is considered more influential than Black Axe. This influence did not happen by accident. Eiye was founded by Yoruba people in Ibadan, and from the beginning, it focused on creating strong connections in communities and institutions. Unlike Black Axe, which sometimes appears more street-focused, Eiye has always been seen as more homely and organized. Their approach allowed them to gain respect, support, and loyalty from many people in Lagos. One reason Eiye is stronger is its connection to power and wealth. Many members of the government are said to belong to Eiye. From local councils to higher offices, Eiye members have used their positions to support their networks. They can influence decisions, control access to resources, and help their members in ways that street power alone cannot achieve. This connection gives them a hidden strength that Black Axe struggles to match. In addition, rich and respected members of Lagos communities often belong to Eiye. Traditional rulers, community leaders, and business people see Eiye as a symbol of loyalty, unity, and authority. Because of this, the confraternity has more opportunities to extend its influence quietly. People who are not members often unknowingly support Eiye's presence simply by trusting its members in community decisions, local projects, and social gatherings. The streets also reflect this influence. While Black Axe has strong networks in some neighborhoods, Eiye's presence is more widespread. Their members are in homes, schools, and community centers, moving with confidence because they have social and political backing. This backing allows Eiye members to act boldly without fear of losing support. This difference in influence creates tension. Black Axe respects and fears Eiye because they know Eiye can reach places and people that Black Axe cannot probably. In many conflicts, Eiye's connections have allowed them to survive, expand, and maintain dominance over key zones in Lagos. The rivalry continues, but it is clear that Eiye's homely and community-based approach gives them an edge. The lesson here is that power is not always about aggression or numbers. It is also about strategy, networks, and influence. In Lagos, Eiye shows that social ties, respect, and political connections can outweigh sheer street strength. For young people, this is a warning that joining any confraternity for power alone can be dangerous and limiting.
While the Eiye Confraternity is often seen as more powerful in Lagos State, the Black Axe group is also strong in its own way. Black Axe members have influence in the streets, higher institutions, and local communities. They are known for their discipline within their group, loyalty to members, and ability to protect their zones. Like Eiye, they also have rich and powerful members who hold positions in government or business. These connections give Black Axe the ability to survive and operate across Lagos. In many communities, Black Axe members are respected for their courage and the sense of belonging they provide to young people. Parents and residents know that their members are organized and often able to enforce rules within their areas. Street boys and youths often look up to them because they provide protection, guidance, or even financial support. In universities, Black Axe also has a strong presence. They attract students who want security, friendship, or a sense of power,
and they use these networks to maintain influence. However, despite all this strength, EA seems to have the edge. The difference is in reach and backing. EA has built long-lasting relationships with government officials, wealthy community members, and traditional rulers. This allows them to extend influence quietly and maintain stability across more zones. Black Axe members may be powerful, but their reach often depends on street respect or campus control. They can be strong locally, but when it comes to political or social influence, EA usually has more leverage. Another factor is perception. Many Lagos residents see EA as more organized or strategic, while Black Axe is sometimes seen as more aggressive. This perception affects how people respond to each group. The rivalry continues because both groups are strong and ambitious. Black Axe will not back down in areas they control, while EA uses its influence to expand and protect its zones. Both sides have loyal members, powerful supporters, and long-term plans. The lesson is clear. Power can take many forms. Black Axe shows that courage, loyalty, and street influence matter. But EA demonstrates that networks, connections, and strategy often give one group the advantage. In Lagos, influence is about more than strength. It is about respect, planning, and relationships.
The rivalry between EA and Black Axe in Lagos State is not just a story about power. It is a warning. While both groups are strong, organized, and influential, their tussle has come at a high cost. Many young men with bright futures have been caught in the struggle and lost their lives. This is a painful reality that residents, parents, and communities live with every day. The danger of cultism goes beyond the streets. Both EA and Black Axe have hidden networks that reach into government offices, schools, and communities. These networks allow them to protect members, maintain influence, and recruit new members. But they also create an environment where young people feel pressured to join. The streets of Lagos reflect this tension clearly. Both groups move in organized teams, controlling different zones and monitoring rival movements. Young men often get caught in these zones without even being members. Tragically, many young lives have been lost simply because of this rivalry. Bright students, hardworking youths, and even sons of respected families have been drawn into these conflicts. Their fall are not a result of personal mistakes. They are the consequence of joining or being near a violent struggle that prioritizes power over life. Families are broken, communities are traumatized, and futures are destroyed.
The story of Eiye and Black Axe in Lagos State teaches one very clear truth. Cultism brings nothing, absolutely nothing, to young people's lives. Over the years, both groups have grown powerful, organized, and influential. They have members in government, communities, campuses, and streets. But all this power comes at a very high cost. Lives lost, families broken, futures destroyed. From the beginning, the rivalry between Eiye and Black Axe has been about control, influence, and dominance. Their conflict divides communities, streets, and even families. Brothers can become enemies simply because they join different groups. Students and youths with bright potential have been caught in the middle and lost their futures. The streets, campuses, and local zones are full of invisible boundaries where stepping into the wrong area can lead to danger. Eiye has influence, political connections, and wealthy supporters. Black Axe also has strong members, loyal followers, and street power. But in the end, these advantages do not protect life. Both groups operate under strict rules that demand total loyalty. Crossing those rules, even by accident, can lead to serious consequences. The supposed gains of respect, power, or friendship inside the group are temporary and dangerous. The biggest lesson is simple. Cultism gives nothing real. It does not create wealth, education, or a safe future. It only brings fear, violence, and loss. No matter how powerful a group may seem, the risks outweigh any benefits. Life, family, education, and personal safety are far more valuable than any form of street or campus influence. Young people must understand that true strength comes from knowledge, hard work, and good character,
not from belonging to a group that values loyalty over life. Peace, friendship, and opportunities can be earned through effort, discipline, and positive relationships. The story of Eiye and Black Axe is a warning for every youth in Lagos and beyond. Joining a cult will destroy more than it ever gives. There is no gain, nothing, absolutely nothing worth sacrificing life, future, and family for. Avoid cultism. Stay focused on education, make wise choices, and protect your future. That is the only path to real respect, success, and happiness. This content is for educational purposes only. We don't support cultism.